Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa and you're watching the Exploring Oracle or the Exploracle for short. So if this is your first time on this channel, what we usually do is highlight a deck. We go through all of the cards, we talk about the guidebook, the card stock, how the deck shuffles, and at the end, we also choose a card to read. So for today, we have a mass market deck called the Amenti Oracle. So it is a feather heart deck and guidebook. It contains ancient wisdom for the modern world. So this is what the size of the box looks like. It is created by Jennifer Sudini. Just show you the sides. And it says, bring the ancient wisdom of Ma'a to the modern world with the Amenti Oracle. Uncover the mystical power of timeless ideals with the Amenti Oracle, Feather Heart Deck, and Guidebook. Built on the wisdom of the Emerald Tablets, these beautifully designed Oracle cards will spark the imaginations of contemporary soul seekers. Learn to cultivate a heart that is light as a feather. So it contains 42 full-color Oracle cards, a keepsake box, and an illustrated 144-page guidebook with card meanings and sample spreads. Okay, so it is in this magnetic closure box. Pretty good magnetic closure. It comes with this decent sized guidebook and a tuck box inside the package, which it's not my favorite. I think it's just an additional step for me to get my cards. And I don't know, I'm thinking if I would keep it just like that, because I think it would still be secure. It would move just a little, but at least it would be easier for me to grab the cards, or maybe not really. but yeah, so this is the packaging. It's a nice box, just that I don't really like having to open more than one to get to my cards. So first, let's take a look at the guidebook. So this guidebook has a lot of information. It is by Jennifer Sudini, printed by RP Studio. A copyright 2019. Has a dedication, and then for the table of contents, a forward, introduction, the Amenti Oracle deck, how to use the cards, and then the card meanings and acknowledgements. So, introduction. Just want to show you, where's that? So I just want to quickly talk about math. Okay, so I came to find that the exact symbols from my dream are actually how the ancient Egyptians believed the soul would be measured in the afterlife. In the Book of the Dead, the weighing of the heart is the soul's final judgment, and if the deceased could justifiably answer 42 specific questions, known as the 42 negative confessions of Ma'at about how their life had been lived, they could have the choice to pass through to paradise, reincarnate, or if they perfectly answered, become a star, the ultimate destination as the eternal light that fuels the growth of the living universe. If the questions were not answered well and the heart was weighed down from a life filled with regret, negative choices, and actions, then the soul would be damned to be eaten by a chimera type of demon named Amit, who devours all the heavy-hearted. The feather by which your heart is measured is the feather of Ma'at, the goddess who is the embodiment of truth, justice, harmony, morality, and the balance of chaos and order. So, just wanted to read that part because it's actually one of my favorite symbolisms of the Justice card as well. It's usually the weighing of the heart against the feather. So that is Ma'at's feather, and that is why I was pretty much drawn to picking up this Oracle deck because it talked about that. And it also talks about what is Amenti. So it's believed to be... So we first get a little bit of a background of Thoth, the god Thoth. And yeah, in that Emerald tablets, the halls of Amenti, are described as a space between worlds where time collides and past, present, and future potentials coexist. So there's a lot of information in this book that if you're interested in Egyptian mythology, this would be an interesting deck for you to learn from. Then you also have some card layouts, a lesson of the day, a 3-card spread, the revelation of wisdom, and a 4-card spread, the life of my story. You also have a 5-card spread, a 6-card spread, and then you go to the cards. Now this page is important. So page 18-19, where it lists down the cards, because in the actual card there is no number. So if you were to look for a meaning of, for example, this card, I do good, you have to find it from this list, which I missed. I do good. Why can't I find? Oh, here. See, so I wish it was numbered, honestly, or at least arranged alphabetically so that I would know where to go. Because the funny thing is, it's listed here, right? It's number 34, for example, but it doesn't have a page number. So you still have to go through all of the cards to go to number 34. So I think that could have been improved, honestly. I think it would have been really helpful for this to either have a number or this list to have a page, to make it easier to go to the cards. But aside from that, there's a lot of information here, and I do like that for each lesson of Ma'at, you have around 2 to 3 pages of text to read for that, for each. Okay, so then let's take a look at the cards. These are the backs. They are reversible, and you can see here the weighing of the heart and the feather against the scales. It is matte. It's quite thin, but snaps back really, really well. I do like the feel of this cardstock, and I love how this shuffles, at least riffle shuffles, because it does kind of stick a little bit, but I don't really mind it, and later on I'll show you how it shuffles. But for now, let's zoom in and take a closer look at all of the cards. Okay, so it has this border and a text at the bottom, which correlates to the questions or lessons of math. And I really like the art style. It feels very fresh and modern, but also rooted in a very historical standpoint. I don't like the font of this deck. I don't really know. It doesn't, honestly, it doesn't feel like it's in sync with the art style, but that's just me. That's my opinion, and I know very little about art or typography. It's just that, in my opinion, it doesn't really match, and it also gets difficult to read sometimes. I like the white space. It makes me focus more on the image. And I also like that every card starts with an I am or an I. It very much feels like a mantra that you can say to yourself or repeat. And I really like that. On its own, you can use these cards and not even refer to the guidebook, but there's a lot that you can get in addition to the text on the cards. As always, feel free to slow down, speed up, or pause if you want to take a closer look at the cards. It really has a unique art style. I don't think I have anything like this yet in my collection. Oops. And I do good. Okay, so like we usually do, I zoomed out and let's see how this deck shuffles. I really like how this deck riffle shuffles. I like the sound it makes. It's very satisfying. There's no issues in me riffle shuffling this deck. It's flexible. I can bridge it. It bounces back to its original shape. So but when I do get like a little bit of a bow, I just shuffle the opposite way. I also really like that the background, you know, from the sides of the cards, the colors from the background kind of shows up. I like that. It's semi-gilding or semi-edging because it makes it more visually interesting. Okay, maybe I'll shuffle it one more time because I just like shuffling the deck. Overhand or side shuffling though, it does take a little bit, and because it's a little bit flexible, sometimes I do squeeze it a little hard, especially when I'm down to a few cards and it bends a little. But it's not so bad. It doesn't feel like a rose petal. But I do have a little bit of difficulty getting jumpers from this deck. So as a workaround, when I don't get jumpers, let me see if I can get one. What I usually do is cut the deck and choose a top card. Of course, you can choose a card any way you like. That's just how I do it. Okay, so let me zoom in and let us read from the guidebook. I remain in balance with my emotions. Okay, I remain in balance with my emotions. The ancient Egyptians considered the heart to be the most sacred organ, as this conscious center of emotion and memory was thought to be the key that unlocks the doors to heaven and earth and the hereafter. In the Egyptian Book of the Dead, Anubis weighs the heart of the deceased against the feather of Ma'at, representing truth and justice. And if the heart is as light as her feather, you are granted permission to pass into the heavenly paradise of the fields of Hetep and Iaru. However, if the heart is dense with the destructiveness of anger, vice, sadness, and wrongdoing, Ammit, an Egyptian goddess known as Devourer or Soul Eater, consumes the heart and you are unable to pass through to the next world. The evocative imagery this otherworldly ritual invokes can be viewed as a powerful metaphor for the importance of keeping a balanced scale in this life with your heart in alignment with truth, a key for the here and now which can unlock doors to higher realms of inner and outer light. Remaining in balance with emotions can be a challenge. The head and the heart can at times be in opposition with each other. Like the opposing hemispheres of the brain, logic and feeling don't always agree, yet they must work together in order to function as a whole. Such is the same internal agreement with the heart and mind. Reconciliation of thought and feeling allows life to remain light, in balance with the harmony of being. The harmony is a full spectrum of sound, color, feeling, and vibration, encompassing all the notes on the scale of experience. The light heart, in relationship to a balanced set of emotion, appreciates this all without attachment. The mind provides memory to serve as a teacher, a greater lens of awareness for reality, but it too does not attach to expectations, notions of wrong, or thoughts with ill intention for the darker notes on this infinite scale. I remain in balance with my emotion is a reminder to cultivate a consistent relationship between the feather-like heart and the objective mind, and to further apply I live truth in daily practice. So yeah, that is how the guidebook reads. I'm going to be honest. When I started this flip through, I was already thinking that I would be rehoming this deck because I've had this for a while. I've used it a couple of times, and even though I do get good readings from it, it just didn't feel like I was connecting with it well enough. But for some reason, after doing the flip through today, I feel like I still need to do more with this deck. And actually, that's how these flip throughs started. I use it as a way to bond with my decks. It's and since I was already doing it and recording it, I thought of sharing it to others who might be interested in purchasing the decks. Now, it's evolved a little from that initial purpose. I don't always have to do the flip throughs when I bond with decks, but I think it's still a good I think it's still a good practice for whenever I feel like I need to connect with a particular deck. And I think it works for me that way because I'm forced to verbalize what I think, what I like, what I don't like about the deck. And I see it from a different lens than when I usually would, or how I usually would when I just use the cards. And I think I just really need to spend more time with it. And look at this. I speak with good intent. I offer words of good intent. And I communicate with compassion. I think I would probably leave this message for everyone because I think that's a good message for us to have and embody. And yeah, that has been the flip through of the Amenti Oracle. If you find this video helpful, please do click on the like button and do consider subscribing to my channel, and where I post videos like this at least once a week. See you again next time. Bye!